Today we're going to be doing something hopefully fun and exciting.
You've been asking for this for a while, and we are here for it.
This is another pantry challenge video, but there's a difference between this pantry challenge video and the last one. And that is that the last one, I looked in my pantry beforehand, I planned all the meals out ahead, and then we made them together. This one...
We're not entirely sure. We have an idea maybe of what we're making. I mean, we've glanced at the pantry, don't get me wrong. But yeah, we are gonna kind of go fly by the seat of our pants here.
We thought it would just be like extra exciting.
So come with us on this journey and let's make some meals.
We are going to make 5 recipes today. Not sure which 5, but we are gonna make 5 and then we're gonna stop because my pantry is huge enough that we could easily make 30.
Yeah, we probably really could.
But, you know, we have to stop somewhere. Plus, my freezer is already pretty full. This is just to show you how you can do this too and maybe get those creative juices flowing for you so that you can think about what you've got in your pantry and maybe do one of these for yourself because this saves so darn much money.
That's right. It isn't strictly pantry stuff. There is going to be, you know, if we need an onion, we'll look and see. Do we have onions? We'll add an onion. Do we have... Charlotte is famous for her frozen green peas in her freezer. There might be 3 bags in there. So, you know, we're going to use what's on hand. This is grocery saving. This is money saving. This is time saving because freezer meals do save you time. And once those meals are in our freezer, these are like a sanity saving a little bit. You know what I mean?
Completely. And we are not going to cheat here. We did not go to the store.
No.
This is what I have in the house. And so we're just showing you that you can actually do this too. We're going to take you through the process from very start to very finish. You know, when we said we don't have a plan, but we have kind of an idea. The idea that we have is that I knew that I wanted to do a tuna casserole because one of my daughters has been asking for it and I promised her. So we actually have some water boiling on the stove right now. We're gonna go put the egg noodles in that so that we can get that underway. And then together we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with the rest of my pantry.
I'm looking so forward to it.
I grabbed the tuna casserole recipe from our binder. Probably today we're gonna have to pull out the binder and show you.
You're gonna get to see the binder.
The magic binder. Because anytime that we've got ingredients and we're like, ooh, you know, do we have everything we need for this recipe? We're gonna have to reference the binder. So we need tuna, which I have canned tuna. Onion, which I have. Shredded cheddar cheese, I'm not sure. I don't think I have cheddar, but I definitely have like a Tex-Mex blend or a habanero or something that we can use.
Yeah, that would be okay.
Cans of mushroom soup.
Of course. I think you grow them in the back, to be honest.
I do. And then frozen peas, which we've already established.
Called it. I know you have frozen peas. You always have frozen peas.
And a red pepper, well, half of a red pepper, and I do have a red pepper. If it's not red, it's yellow. Like I have a pepper, and I have a green pepper too. So
okay.
So we're in good
We're
shape.
in shape.
Pepper and the egg noodles. I always carry egg noodles because when we make our ground beef stroganoff, it gets served on top of egg noodles.
Right. We haven't made it in a long time. Do you know what? I think we wore ourselves out on it.
Yes, but it's starting to get to the point where
I'm wanting to have it again.
I want it again. So, okay. So this is for our tuna casserole. While our pasta cooks, we're going to try to figure out what else we have. But first, I need to show you what we're working with here. So we're going to do a little tour of my pantry. My pantry.
Your pantry is a fun place. You know, like there are kids that like to go to Legoland because of all the Lego, and there are people that love to go to libraries because they love books. There are people that would love to see a tour of Charlotte's pantry because this is where all the food lives.
I have a stand-up pantry, like a large stand-up pantry, and then I have a lower shelf pantry that, you know, it's probably was supposed to have like kitchen appliances or whatever down there, but we've turned it into a pantry.
It's got food in it.
And then...
because of freezer meals. It didn't used to always be like this.
No, yeah.
It's gotten, because, like, I would say most of it's because of freezer meals.
Because of freezer meals, and our local grocery store has incredible case lot sales.
They really do.
And if I'm gonna use it and I can get it on a case lot sale where the case is like, sometimes it's $17 off.
Right.
The case. And then if you get it on 15% off day, it's 15% off in addition to the $17 off. So I'm gonna get that.
I was there yesterday. The box of chicken, the frozen chicken breasts like we like.
$28.99.
$28.99. So if you get it on, then normally it's like $39.99. So it's, you know, $11 off, but then you get the extra 15% off on Tuesday because the sale is still good until like the end of the next week. So we're good.
Yeah. So when it comes to case lot sales, I usually take advantage if I know it's something we're going to use. So I'll show you. I have another room. I have one of those IKEA shelving units. In it, I don't remember what they're called.
Kallax.
Yeah, sure. Whatever she said. And I used to have because we've got 7 kids, the other reason I have so much food. And when they were younger, I kept, like, that was sort of our boot room. It was in a different location, but that bookshelf was kind of our, it's not
Every
bookshelf.
kid had a bin or two.
Yeah, and so they could keep their winter stuff and their summer stuff, and you know, we live in Canada, so they've got the mittens and the toques and all the things. And so now, instead of that, it's food.
It is food. So enjoy this tour.
So we've got a lot of canned soup, mushroom and tomato. Some of my kids like to make tomato soup with noodles in it. And so that's why we have so much of the tomato. Mushroom, we just often use it. And then we've got corn. We have canned kernel corn, we've got cream corn. Then we've got beans, tomato paste, and that tuna that we're gonna use for the tuna casserole today. Oops, that's the French side. We're in Canada, so all of our labels have both French and English on them. Then we've got more beans, some diced tomatoes and more tomato paste, some tomato sauce and more diced tomatoes, freezer bags, of course, and then more diced tomatoes. So diced tomatoes may find their way into a recipe or two today.
I hear some shakshuka maybe happening.
Well, we also have a lot of corn and beans.
Oh, something
so,
Mexican.
Yes, that could happen.
That could happen.
And the other thing is that like I said, I didn't go shopping specifically for this, so I don't have any meat to use today, except that I had these chorizo sausages that I got in a Plenty for 20 sale. That's when you can get 4 packs of something for $20 plus the 15% off. And so I threw them in my freezer. I've got 2 packs of them, knowing like I'll use them soon. I didn't repackage them, which means that they're not gonna last that long in the freezer. So I'm super glad that we can use them today. So I took them out of the freezer and they're thawing. So we're gonna cook those up. So while our chorizo sausages have been cooking, we've been gathering ingredients for the tuna casserole. So we're gonna chop our onion. We're gonna chop our red pepper.
We did find a red pepper and a yellow pepper, so you know our horizons have broadened.
You never know what we could make later. As we go today, I thought it might be good to just share our ideas about other things that you could make if you had similar ingredients, because maybe you also have tuna in your pantry, but you are sick of tuna casserole, or you want to make, or you've got so much tuna like I do that you want to make multiple things with tuna. And so another thing that you could make is we've got a recipe in the Freezer Meals 101 Club for fish cakes. Now, a viewer of ours named Wendy sent us the recipe for her fish cakes. We have made them with salmon before. And salmon. We've never made them with tuna, but they would totally work with tuna. So that's something that if you've got tuna in your pantry, you could make. And you could also make a tuna tetrazzini.
We already cooked the noodles. Now, here's the thing about noodles. I'm sure we have told you a million times. If you are cooking pasta for freezing and you're going to reheat it later, you're going to want to undercook it by a minute or 2. You know, it says al dente on the box. You want it a little bit less than that because you're going to recook it after it's been frozen, and then it'll be mushy if you've cooked it the whole time. So that is what we have done today.
I'm gonna start opening our cans. We're gonna start just adding things into a bowl. Now, if we were doing a family size of this, then we would just make this right in our freezer bag. But in my house, not everybody likes tuna. Those of us that do love it, like my daughter who requested this recipe, and I love it. So I'm gonna make sort of like portions enough for 2 people, so she and I can have these like for lunches or whatever, and specifically for her that she can have them kind of whenever she wants. So we're gonna mix it together in a bowl first and then divide it into quart-size bags. I may have a few frozen peas.
I think this is just one of the bags because there's probably 3 small bags that are probably all half full.
It's true.
It's true.
I may have a pea problem.
1 cup of frozen peas. I'm gonna eyeball this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did drain the tuna.
Oh yeah. Whoop. More peas.
More peas never hurt anyone. Unless they were allergic.
Can you imagine that there's a pea allergy? I'm sure there probably is.
If there can be a celery allergy, there
Or a
can
broccoli
be
allergy.
A pea allergy. I'm gonna give this to you
I will
because
do that.
you are tall and closer.
I will move the bowl. All right, what else are we going to do? What do you think?
So with the chorizo sausage, I have so many thoughts. So I've been thinking with the chorizo sausage, there's so many things we could do because we have a recipe. We're gonna put the recipes in the description down below, just in case you're wondering, so you can find them there. But we have this recipe in the club that is a like kind of like a chorizo Spanish rice. And I definitely have rice. I have a lot of rice. So that's something that we could make up, and then it would be like a all-in-one meal.
Yeah.
But also anything that we have Italian sausage and we use it for, we could swap it out.
Swap it out for chorizo.
And so I'm like, we've got this. I always have a lot of salsa, and they're like these massive.
She has more salsa than she has peas.
Yeah.
Like.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
But we go through it so much, both for cooking, and I've got some kids that snack on salsa like it's going out of style. I've got this recipe that is Italian sausage pasta sauce, and it uses the Italian sausage, but it uses salsa and onion, which we have, and
Probably diced tomatoes.
I'm not sure. No, I think it doesn't, but it uses capers, which I always have.
Right.
And so that's a possibility, definitely. I was also thinking we have an Italian sauce, or we have a sausage and peppers recipe.
Ooh, that would be good with the
Good,
chorizo.
but we don't have a lot of peppers.
We have 1.5 peppers.
So
Would you sacrifice a jalapeno to the cause? Would that change it so completely that it's not even it anymore?
No, I mean, we can experiment with recipes like that. So that's a possibility. I gotta think about this some more. But basically, yes, for the Italian sausage, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab the binder.
Get the binder.
I'm gonna get the binder. Okay, let me make space for the binder. I get rid of my cans here. So I'm gonna turn to the pork section of the binder. I think I was telling you in another video of how organized Christy is and how she is the everything binder.
The everything binder. It's been a good resource.
It's been great.
Now, if you were, strolling through the club, we could do this on our phones, and we could go through the club, and we could pick all of the pork recipes and just look at them visually and put in a couple of, like, another ingredient or so and see what we could come up with. But sometimes it's fun to just go through the binder.
The binder's kind of, it's tactile, right?
Yeah.
So this spinach and sausage white bean soup, we've got everything except the spinach. That's a possibility.
But that could be added on the day of cooking.
It is added.
It
is added on the day of cooking, and so is the pasta. So that's a possibility. Now, when you are doing a pantry clean out, soups are your friend. Like, you can throw pretty much anything into a soup.
Yes.
I was even thinking we could do like a taco kind of soup.
We could do a 3-bean soup. We could do, a
There's
tortilla soup.
all kinds of, soup ideas. The spinach sausage pasta bake. Oh, I don't have heavy cream, so that will not work.
How much do we need?
1.5 cups.
No, you
I don't. Okay. The Spanish rice with chorizo, that's the one I was considering. We need a red pepper, so that would work because we could use some yellow pepper. We need a can of diced tomatoes, a can of green diced chilies. I know I have those. I always have diced chilies.
I think let's do that.
Chili powder, cumin, pepper. Okay, this is definitely
Absolutely
at the top. Sicilian pasta sauce. Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, but we don't
need
have any
zucchini, mushrooms. No.
or your soup.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It has butternut squash soup in it, which sounds really weird. And some people say it's really delicious, but it is not Christy's favorite, and that's okay.
And I love it.
Charlotte's family loves it. They devour it.
Hearty sausage and zucchini soup. We have already established that we don't have zucchini. I do love that soup.
It is
Man,
a good
I love
soup.
that soup. Okay. Sausage and vegetable pasta. Oh, 1 pot sausage and vegetable pasta. Wait.
Okay.
It calls for garlic sausage, and I have garlic sausage in my fridge.
Okay.
This could be a different one.
This could be a totally different
let's
recipe.
see. Red pepper, orange pepper. We have a yellow pepper, that'll work. Red onion, I don't know if I have a purple onion. Maybe not. We have white onion, so maybe. Diced tomatoes, yes, we've established. Chicken broth, yes. Mozza cheese,
I think you do.
no, but I have Monterey Jack and it's already shredded. I was doing a rotisserie chicken video, and if you guys were with me on that journey,
I was not here for
fun.
that because I was at home sick in bed, and I heard all about it.
It was really fun. Pasta, let's do this one
I
in
like it.
addition.
Okay.
So this isn't gonna be our sausage one, this is gonna be our garlic sausage one.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't even have that on my radar. Okay, that is exciting. It's
See
one
what
pot.
you can find when you go through the binder?
Okay, sausage quesadillas, that sounds good. Oh, here's the sausage and peppers.
Now, if we do this, we can't do this. We're definitely not. Well, it only calls for half and half.
No, we can't do this.
Okay.
And we can't do the gnocchi sheet pan because we don't have gnocchi. But okay, let's pull out that sausage rice.
Chorizo?
The Spanish rice
I think
with chorizo.
I think that's a no-brainer. We have to do it.
Now, it does call for red pepper, and so does this one. I have a green pepper, so we could put green pepper
I would
in this
put it
one.
with the chorizo.
Yeah. And then use the red pepper and the yellow pepper for that one.
I love it.
Okay, we're done. We've got two
Wait,
more
wait, wait.
recipes chosen.
Oh, we need the whole one. I was going to say, wait, we still will have half a yellow pepper left.
Oh my goodness, this could not be more perfect. I just noticed something. They each call for 14 ounces of diced tomatoes. I only buy them in 28-ounce cans, of course, because, you know.
Case lot.
A lot of times we're doubling recipes and things like that anyway, so if it calls for 14 ounces, I just, put half in one and half in the other. But this means I'm not wasting. I get to use the whole can, half in one, half in the other. It's kismet.
It was meant to be. I love it.
Okay, I am really excited about this. So now we've got 3 recipes chosen out of our 5.
And none of them are soups yet.
None of them are soups and none of them are stir fries yet. Doesn't mean we're not gonna encounter a stir fry, but stir fries are the other one that when you are cleaning out your pantry, I always have water chestnuts, sliced or whole, in my pantry, and right now is no exception. I often have baby corn, and then in my freezer, I will sometimes have like a bag of sliced peppers.
Or a bag of like mixed vegetables.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then I always have like sesame oil, soy sauce, rice vinegar, like things that you can make a stir fry sauce with.
Yeah.
So that's always like, that might be what ends up happening later today.
I think
But,
so. We're on a roll.
We've got, okay, I'm gonna start gathering for this. I'm excited now.
Me too.
Our tuna casserole is done. We've got 4 bags for that. Now we had forgotten to put the cheese in the bowl. So we started like opening up individual bags and adding it in, but it's all in there.
And it's done. It's not perfect, but it's done. And that's the fun part of freezer meals. Oh my gosh.
That's the important part. So next we're gonna get ready for our 2 sausage recipes, one with the chorizo, one with the garlic sausage.
Aha.
And we're just gonna kind of scurry around. I've got rice cooking on the stove, and we've got all the ingredients. What we don't have, we're just gonna make do without or substitute, like with the green pepper instead of 2 red peppers because we don't have enough. Whatever.
It'll be okay.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, we're just gonna, oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention is I'm gonna chop the meat right into the bags. So the garlic sausage will go into one and the Italian, or the chorizo sausage will go into the other. And that way our recipe will already be started when we start putting all the other ingredients in there and assembling them. And this is coming together really well.
Pantry challenge accepted.
So I decided, because the chorizo sausage, like after cooking it up, it's pretty greasy. And so I threw a paper towel down in the bag.
Good idea.
And I'm going to just like throw all the sausage in there. And then before we add the other ingredients, we're waiting for the rice to cool. I should mention we want to have cooled ingredients in our bags because otherwise you get condensation and that makes your meals not last as long in the freezer. So we are waiting for the rice to cool anyway. So while the rice is cooling, that paper towel can be absorbing some of the extra grease. And then I will pull the paper towel out before we start adding other ingredients into the bag because nobody wants to eat paper towel.
Nobody wants to eat the paper towel. And while she's been doing that, I sliced an onion, I finished dicing the green pepper, and we have sliced peppers for the sausage and vegetable pasta.
And we discovered that it only needed half of an orange pepper, which we're using a yellow pepper. And so we have half of a pepper left. Like,
oh, the possibilities.
So, I mean, it might end up being a snack later, or it might end up going into a recipe. Who knows? Just have to stay tuned and find out. I'm massaging sausage.
Okay, we have been gathering, and we have some exciting news. We don't have to use Monterey Jack because we have mozzarella.
You just never know what you'll find in my fridge.
Remember how I mentioned the library books in the beginning? The fridge is just as exciting as the pantry here.
But the freezer is the most exciting.
The freezer is
thing in my
definitely
whole house.
the most exciting part. Okay, so we have our sausage in the bag. We're going to add in our sliced peppers.
And we didn't have that purple onion, so we're just using a white onion because we're making do.
That is right. We are adding in 14 ounces of diced tomatoes, which is half of this big guy. Now, can she do it? It'll be like the peas where I yeah, good enough. And salt and pepper. Okay, we have some salt here and we have some pepper here. We'll get the spoon for this guy. What does it say? Half teaspoon of that and a teaspoon of this.
So this is gonna be an estimate.
And that's a shy teaspoon.
Okay, red pepper flakes.
A red pepper.
Always have these on hand.
Mm-hmm. And that is something that you just add with your heart.
We're gonna add a lot more than the recipe calls for.
You measure with your heart. Charlotte likes things a sabase. Now I'm gonna skip a part here because we're gonna come back to it, and I'll tell you why, because we don't like doing dishes. And so it calls for 1.5 cups of the mozzarella cheese, but it also calls for 3 cups of chicken broth. But I want to use the measuring cup for the cheese first because dishes. So we're gonna add that in. I could have measured it, I could have or I could have winged it, but I feel better about measuring.
Sure.
And then it's done.
This is going in a quart size freezer bag.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna staple it to the big guy to add to the day of. And we need our broth. 3 cups?
Yep. Now, if you don't have a lot of freezer space, you can add your broth on the day of cooking. We're gonna add ours right in. I do have a whole shelf, actually half of a shelf that is empty in my freezer right now. And then in my other freezer, I have like a full shelf that's empty because I made freezer meals for one of my sons because he moved out. And it took him a while to get those meals, but now that he's got them, I've got freezer space again.
And you just got added to a meal train, yes?
Yes, I did, and so
that will help.
I will be giving away some meals, and that'll make even more space. So that
voila
is it. This is, like we said, a 1-pot sausage and vegetable pasta. So on the day of, you actually cook the pasta right up in the sauce. And then towards the end of cooking, you add that mozzarella cheese. So you've already got it, and it's going to stay good for longer because it's in the freezer. And You can, if you want, measure out your pasta and put it in a quart-size bag, a separate one, and staple it on here. Now, I always have pasta, and this calls for a small pasta like shells or something like that, which I always have. So I'm not gonna bother to...
And it is something, if you're doing a pantry challenge and you don't have the pasta, that's okay, because it will still go in your freezer and take that worry away of what you're gonna have for supper, because by then you'll have, you know, picked up some more pasta.
One of the things you'll notice about today that's different than our usual videos is we usually have these amazing printable labels that Christy prints off.
Yeah, I'm missing the labels today.
And they've got the cooking instructions on them and the date and all of those things that you need to know. And of course the name of the recipe. But today we were winging it, so we don't have labels. We've got 2 options. We've got 3 options. Christy can either print labels off at her place and bring them over, because she lives 2 doors down. So pretty easy to just pop those over, and then I can add them to the bags. Or we can write on the bags with a Sharpie, or we can write on a label that's blank, because we do have blank labels.
Yep.
And add those to the bag. The Sharpie option is the least preferable because sometimes it wipes off the bag or it ends up actually staining your counter as it's thawing. It's just not ideal.
Yes, and sometimes with a Sharpie, like, you can't fit all of the cooking instructions on, or it takes a long time. When you're just doing it on your little label, you can write it on there, or I could just print them.
So we'll see which option we come up with, but it's probably not gonna be the Sharpie option. We're gonna admit something to you. We just talked you through this great recipe, this chorizo sausage one. Oh my goodness, we had fun putting it together.
We
were
sure
chatting.
did.
It came together so fast. And then at the end, we were like, I don't think we pushed the record button.
We didn't. We just did it so fast we forgot to hit record.
And because today we are using up things that we don't have extra ingredients
There's
to make
no
it for you
extra.
again. So we're gonna talk you through it. I'm so embarrassed, but...
So here's what might happen. There might be footage from a past one that we made of these that we can talk about.
And we can put that footage in here so that you can kind of see us putting it together. But
Sorry for the dupe, but you know,
you'll see
stuff happens.
in that one, if we have footage of that, it will be a red pepper, not a green pepper. This is clearly a green pepper today.
You watched me chop a green pepper.
But we put in our cooked rice that's cooled, and then we added, you know, we had those sausages. We did take out the paper towel, I can assure you.
It's not in the bag.
Then we added our green pepper, we added
Our onion.
and the half of the can of diced tomatoes, the other half. We added
Our chilies.
chili, cumin, green chilies, sorry.
The green chilies.
Green
Yep.
chilies.
And then cumin. And you missed my funny joke about me being the director of spice management, yet I have this giant thing of chili powder, yet I also, in the spice cupboard, have a giant bag of chili powder because I missed that one that day. You know.
So we added some salt and pepper, and then I showed you how you want to, you know,
Zip up the bag.
with air in it still, and then give it a good shake to toss everything around. Look how well I mixed it. And
Great
then,
job, Charlotte.
I opened the bag back up and got out the extra air, because when you're freezer cooking, air is what causes your freezer burn. And I told you all about that, and then here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. We did not film that, so use your imagination. And we are humans. I am personally very, very human, especially today.
Very human. I checked. She's human. So the next part that we are going to talk about is what meals come next.
All right. So my middle daughter, she is in culinary arts in high school. She is a really great cook. I would go so far as to say
On her way to chef level.
totally on her way to chef level.
Sure.
She's even worked in a restaurant kitchen. So she's great at this. And for Mother's Day this year, which is a while ago now, but she made me the most delicious dinner. It was like restaurant quality. It was amazing. And one of the things she made was a pasta with a Pomodoro sauce. I have texted her and asked if she could send the recipe, and I just gave it a quick scan, and I do happen to have the ingredients. And some of them I have because that day when she was getting the ingredients, she went with my mom to surprise me, and they gathered all the ingredients. They even went to a specialty store and
Oh, that's so nice.
all the things. And that day she got extra of the cans of San Marzano tomatoes. So I love this sauce so much that I'm actually probably going to double it and make 2 bags of it. Maybe we'll send one to Christy's house.
I would like to have Mother's Day lunch of the San Marzano tomatoes.
Her family can try this Pomodoro sauce. Now, my daughter did change it up, and she added Kalamata olives to the recipe because we like Kalamata olives around here. And so if I can scrounge some up in my fridge, which sometimes I can, sometimes I can't, then we'll add Kalamata olives to it. If not, we won't. I do have fresh basil, which it calls for.
Nice.
And I have probably whatever else it calls for. So we're going to make some Pomodoro sauce, which will be our recipe number 4.
Yes.
And then we do kind of have a plan for recipe number 5 because we've been
going through the ingredients and through the recipes and our brains. Yes, we have a plan for number 5.
Okay, let's grab out the ingredients for our Pomodoro sauce. If you have been watching our videos for a while, then you know that my blender went missing. When we were doing our kitchen renovation, which was like back in November or October or something like that, I had to move everything out of the kitchen, and we, put the blender in the other room, and so we could find the bottom part. We could not find the blender part, and or the inside. So I found it yesterday, which was really exciting, and turns out to be good timing because we need the blender for this recipe.
We do. These beautiful San Marzano tomatoes are whole, and so they need to be pureed for this recipe. So I think we'll just dump them both in, yes?
Yep. And then we can divide it between the 2 bags. So this is our Pomodoro sauce. It's super simple. You'll see not very many ingredients, but it's so delicious. And sometimes the simplest recipes are actually the tastiest.
So what makes San Marzano tomatoes special, Charla? Do you even know?
Roma tomatoes?
Oh, they're definitely Roma, and they're whole, right?
I don't know what grown in Italy, I suppose. I don't know.
So, choice grade, with basil leaf.
Who knows?
Who knows?
They're just good quality.
Do you know who knows? Our very smart YouTube viewers, because somebody will know, it is a product of Italy. Somebody will know, and somebody will tell us. Because somebody just told us about Tetra Paks in a comment. Okay, I'm gonna take a second.
Sure.
In Canada, we call this a Tetra Pak, but it's these boxes. And so somebody commented to say that they were invented in Germany, and that when she was a little girl, they would get their milk and stuff like this, and juice and stuff, and that's where the name comes from. And here, maybe a lot of Canadians don't call it that. Somebody else said, I just call it a carton. Sure, it's a carton, but that is the Tetra Pak.
It even says Tetra Pak on the bottom.
Because that's the company that makes it.
Right.
So now we know. So somebody in our viewership will know about
San Marzano
tomatoes.
Okay, I have to tell you, I spilt tomato on my thumb. I didn't push record for a whole recipe. In case you haven't noticed, I am out of sorts today. I have had a week, and I often have weeks, but I had something show up on my mammogram. It turned out to be nothing, but I had to go back, and it was super scary because breast cancer's in my family and things, and not that it wouldn't be scary for anyone, but I lost a really good friend to that, and so it was a scary week. I wasn't sleeping very well, and that day, which was just 2 days ago, was
yes, and so we're still feeling the aftershocks of that, but on the positive side, when life throws you lemons and you have freezer meals in your freezer, you can make the lemonade.
I was so thankful to not have to think about what I was going to make for. We had we had other things going on with one of our daughters, some of you know, it gets hospital treatments, and this was the week.
Right.
Like, this was her hospital treatment week.
Yeah.
It has been a week. So if I seem out of sorts, I am. And I was telling Christy this morning that I'm kind of like wishing that we had filmed yesterday, even though yesterday I feel like I was even like, I was out of sorts yesterday too, but because I was having the best hair day.
Oh, you were having the best hair day. I was having a terrible hair day, but I went to Staples to go pick up some printing because my printer's been on the fritz. And I walked in and a lady said, "You have such great hair." And I'm like, "I know, right?" And I was thinking, this is terrible hair. But you know, and you were having the best hair day and the best makeup day.
I was having the best hair day and the best makeup day, and it was this day where like I was just working from home and I wasn't going anywhere and nobody was seeing me. But in the evening we went to this like charity fundraising event thing, not a fancy one, just like there was an improv show and a silent auction and that kind of thing. Not really food and whatever. There were fries, so you know I can't say there wasn't food. There were fries, but you get what I'm saying. It wasn't super fancy, but I was able to like
at least
show off my hair.
Show off your hair and your lovely makeup, which is nice.
But today I'm just, you know, I'm not having a terrible hair day, but I'm not having that hair day. And my brain is just not like the stress, right? It's not firing on all cylinders. I haven't had enough sleep. And so I apologize. But I'm just being real and I'm just telling you the truth that this is not the ideal day.
And lots of times
challenge.
I can carry that stuff for you, and I've dropped the ball on it too. I'm like, we take turns carrying each other. That's why you should do freezer meals with a friend, because
Totally.
if somebody is really struggling to, you know, get focused and do the math, you know, at least one of you should be able to, but, you know, that's okay. We're still here. We're having fun. We're still going to end up with our meals out of it. You're still getting the benefit of the pantry experience.
And we are going to end up with like more meals even than we expected, even though we're only doing 5 recipes, because that's like, and one of the reasons that I'm cutting it off at that is because like I gotta rest, man. I need to like shut my brain up. I need to go and watch something on TV that is just mindless. Like the more mindless, the better. You could put recommendations for me. It'll be too late by the time, you know, I see them.
What are you watching on TV? Sometimes we talk about book club. Tell us what you're watching on TV.
Because today I'm not reading books. I'm not trying to further my education. I am just gonna shut my brain down. Okay, we're gonna do this blender thingy. Oh, it's exciting to get to use my blender again. And I'm gonna get Christy to pour,
It's
both
good being
because
tall.
she's taller and because I don't trust myself today.
And yet she trusts me. Look at this. Okay.
We have to prop these better.
Yeah. So it's like a little over 1.5. Okay. 56 ounces. So if I can make it not 32, 28 ounces, about there.
Yeah.
Oh, because each of those cans is 28 ounces. Silly me. Oh my, we are a pair today. I will tell you.
That is hilarious.
I could put it back in the can and then pour it
Oh,
in.
we should.
Do you want to take it
this
out? All right.
Because otherwise it'll dump.
Well, I was gonna hold it.
Oh, well, you just do you then.
I think it'll be okay.
Okay.
Teamwork.
So tonight, Christy is going with her daughter and my daughter to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and my daughter is like, "What is that?"
And I'm like, I can't even tell you. You just have to experience it. And it's the whole deal where, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's a movie from the 70s that has become like this huge cult classic. People dress up like the characters. People act on stage as the characters while the movie is going.
Are you dressing up?
I had big plans to make a Frankenfurter costume because my hair is very Frank-like right now. But really, okay, here's what I was gonna do. For those of you, if you know, you know. I was gonna wear the hospital scrub, like the hospital Johnny, and then he wears rubber gloves, which is part of the kit. The audience participates along as you do it, and you shout things at the screen. And
I've never been myself. I only know one thing, which is the one thing I told my daughter. They say something like toast to the bride or something like that. Again, I don't know. And everybody throws toast at the screen.
yes, that happens. So I'm gonna go home and make toast and prepare our bags. They have water guns, they have flashlights. It's complicated. So Frank, yeah, he's dressed up like that and he's got giant pearls.
Oh, okay.
And I have giant pearls from my Mrs. Roper costume.
Right.
So I might just do my makeup like Frank and wear the giant pearls. I never got around to making a hospital Johnny or buying one. And the rubber gloves are also in the bag because there's a part in the film where he goes snap, snap, and everybody puts on their rubber gloves and goes snap, snap. So yes, it's one of those movies that if you can find a local showing in your area where they're doing this, that's the best way to be introduced to the movie. So my husband and I are taking our daughter and Charlotte's daughter, and we're meeting some other friends there, and it's gonna be really good.
My daughter is totally the type that will appreciate that.
Oh, she is. That's why, like, my daughter and I were talking about it. I'm like, you have to bring her, right? You know this.
Yeah.
And she will come home with a different tune. Today she was very confused and.
She has no idea. And I mean,
Well, she just had
really
her treatment too, so she's a little tired today.
Yeah, she always misses like a day or two of school after, and so she's napping at the moment.
In preparation, I wish I might go home and nap because this doesn't start till 10 o'clock at night, and I am usually firmly in bed by that time. So back to our awesome Pomodoro sauce.
Okay, so we're gonna add some onion, but I'm not gonna add all of the onion that we have left because we want to save some onion, and then we're gonna add some garlic.
Is that too much?
For mine, definitely, but for yours, you do you.
So you know my husband likes garlic.
Yeah.
The other day, he had this weird craving, and he sat down.
Okay, that one's yours. I'm gonna do the garlic in mine.
Okay. He sat down on the couch beside me with a little, like one of those little pinch bowls, one of these guys, of sweet pickles, garlic stuffed olives, sprinkled with Costco garlic from here. And he sat down and ate that. And I am like, I can't kiss you for like 3 days now. And so yes, this is mine. This is an appropriate amount of garlic.
And I have a daughter, same daughter that's going to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, that can eat onions like apples. Like
my husband can eat an onion like an apple.
Yeah.
Our favorite thing is to wrap it in tinfoil and put it in the campfire in the coals. And then at the end of the night, you'd have that before bed. Was that better? I don't know. I don't know.
It's really good with your steak or with your burgers or on your burgers.
Same as a bulb of garlic.
Oh, so yes, so much. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're adding red pepper flakes.
So you can add a little more to yours.
Add more to mine, and then salt and pepper. Mm-hmm. See, this is so simple, right?
Some salt and some chopped basil.
But you can see where even though like this is really, really easy and you don't have to cook anything up, like it's just simple. Now you don't have to take your blender out on the day of. And if you had enough cans, you could make 4 of these all at once and just use your blender twice. You're only making it dirty the one time. You're only having to wash it the one time. And then you've got 4 of these sitting in your freezer and you don't have to do that on the day of. So it is so much easier. Chopped basil. Mm-hmm. I had some in my fridge, but probably not as much as we would want to have, but some. So I just need my kitchen scissors. That's it. On the day of cooking, you're gonna cook your pasta and then you're gonna reserve a bit of the pasta water, just half a cup or so. And then you're going to, simmer your sauce. It's gonna get, soften the onions and just get that garlic and basil. It's gonna be so good. You're gonna smell it. And then you're gonna add the pasta into the sauce, the drained pasta, and you're gonna add in that pasta water just to thin this a tiny bit, but you want the starchiness in the pasta water. And then you're going to add in a bit of butter. I told you this was good. And some Parmesan cheese. And just stir it to melt the butter and melt the cheese a little bit. And that's totally it. You can top it with some more Parmesan and more red pepper flakes.
What kind of pasta did you make with yours when she made it for you?
She did spaghetti, I think, or linguine. It was a long noodle. I would probably do something that would hold more of the sauce. So maybe like a cavatappi or something
or
like
a penne.
Those ones that are like the little mini lasagna noodles.
Oh, yeah.
I forget what they're called.
Oh, yeah,
but
they have a name.
Those ones hold more sauce, like a little boat. Pasta boat.
A pasta boat.
To hold your Pomodoro sauce.
I spilled, these are a little bit wet on the outside. I was a little maybe forceful with my pouring. Now, some people say sometimes their bags stick together in the freezer. One trick to stop that from happening is to make sure that they are bone dry before you get them into your freezer. That's really important. Look at that. That's so simple.
Super simple, but again, you wouldn't want to get out your blender to just make one. Well, you could, but this is another one that would portion out into small quart-size bags really well. So that would be a good individual meal too.
Yay!
Next, we're just going to throw together a simple taco soup. I know we talked about how easy it is to do soups when you're doing a pantry challenge or to do stir fries, and so we wanted to demonstrate one. Now, with this taco soup, we also talked about doing instead, because I do have a lot of flour tortillas. So we talked about doing enchiladas. I also have enchilada sauce, so we totally could have done that. For our vegetarian enchiladas, we use black beans, corn, green chilies,
And a pepper.
Yes.
Which I still have half of a yellow pepper left that we could actually put it in the soup.
Yeah, I mean, that one calls for a red pepper, but same general idea. So we totally could have made that. So we did talk about making that. But we recently, well, we, meaning me, because Christy was sick, as we said before, did a video of rotisserie chicken meals. And so I had made chicken enchiladas in those, and I had sent them to Christy's house because she wasn't feeling well.
And we ate them immediately. They were fantastic.
And I had mine the next day or 2 days later because I needed them to freeze, and then thought we needed to test them to make sure they froze well. And so I'm gonna make 2 tiny tweaks to that recipe, but it's a keeper recipe.
It is a keeper.
So we both have just had enchiladas. So we're kind of like, enchiladas would be a great idea. We have all the ingredients, but no.
Let's do the soup.
We've got a little bit of our onion here. We've grabbed some diced tomatoes. We also could have used tomato sauce in place. If you didn't have diced tomatoes, you could use tomato sauce. We're gonna use garlic, the corn, the black beans. We're gonna rinse
those
and drain them. And the green chilies, which I always have. Taco seasoning, of course, probably some salt and pepper.
Yep.
And we're gonna make taco soup. Now, if you had ground beef, you could cook up some ground beef and add it in, and it could be that. If you had shredded chicken or cubed chicken, you could go put that in here, and you could have.
I would be open to doing pork or sausage too.
I added 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning, which is less than the 4 tablespoons that a packet is. We have some chicken broth left from what we were using before, and so I'm gonna add what we have left. You could add vegetable broth instead to make this fully vegetarian. Also, probably are going to need more liquid in here than just this little bit of leftover chicken broth. You can write a note on the bag reminding you to add more chicken broth on the day of, or you could add some water now. Or you could add some now, or you could, add water and some chicken stock. There's lots of ways you can make this work, even if you don't have more than one can of, or Tetra Pak of chicken broth in your pantry. Okay.
That is great.
It's a good thing we're not doing more than 5 recipes today.
I think we are done. We are fully cooked. Now, also the wonderful thing about a soup is, they're frugal. You can stretch a soup, and they're just kind of, if you've ever spent time in your life really watching your grocery budget, you become great at making all kinds of soups.
All right, speaking of that, I actually have another idea. So maybe
I'll hold it just in case.
All right, so in that rotisserie chicken, video, I did a whole section. Oh, I'm gonna put that video right up there. It has such good recipes in it. My goodness, they were delicious, the ones we've tried so far. And we're trying the pasta tonight, and I'm so excited for it. So we had a whole section on jalapeno popper chicken recipes. And we did jalapeno popper chicken taquitos and dip and this pasta. And so I have some minced jalapeno here. So I don't want that to go to waste. It is getting thrown right in here into our soup because it's a taco soup. It's totally going to work flavor profile wise. And then we have some rice left over from when we made that Spanish rice
Oh
earlier.
yeah.
And so we are adding
It
rice.
definitely will go nicely in a taco soup.
And
That way we're not wasting our rice.
now this is definitely going to need more broth or water because I've added these other ingredients. Now this will feed like probably 2 or 3 more servings because of the rice.
Oh, definitely.
Once you add the extra liquid in there.
And it's got the extra kick with the jalapenos, a little bit more Mexican-y. I love it. I love it.
If you do a pantry challenge, we like to do ours like 1 month a year where we try to just eat from our freezer and pantry. Obviously, because we make freezer meals, it's a bit of a cheat because we have a lot of meals in there, but still it's a really great thing to use up those like bits and bobs that are at the bottom of your freezer, like those little packages of half peas.
Those bags of peas.
And that kind of thing. And then of course to get things used up in your pantry before they hit their expiry date. So we do that as a, you know, just kind of a frugal living thing that we've done for years and years. And this is not the month that we're doing that, but I just thought we've had requests for another pantry video. I am going to put our last pantry video up there. It was quite a while ago now.
It has been a while.
But you can check out my old kitchen in that.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can get some more ideas for what you can create with the items that are in your pantry. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for bearing with my brain.
We love your brain. It does wonderful, marvelous things, but you should go and rest it now. And we can meet you back here again next week.
Definitely. We're gonna pop that rotisserie chicken video right there because it's good. Plus, it's kind of along the same themes of taking like something and stretching it and using what you have. So thanks again for watching today and happy cooking.
Bye.